Hi everyone. Oh, I am a few minutes early. I hit the wrong button. I thought I hit the pre button. So you can tell how my Monday's going so far. Well, welcome to Spiritual Breadcrumbs. I'm Debbie A. Anderson and we're 2 minutes ahead of schedule. So what does that mean? Maybe I'm in an altered universe. Anyway, the title for today's Spiritual Breadcrumbs is Let's Talk. And I said to Spirit, okay, I'm a little confused because I talk. And they said yes. And so I said, but what's the subject matter for today? And that's what I got. I'm like, okay, thank you. Put me out to dry, hang me out to dry. So then, I was, let's talk to those that are present, those that come on. Have you, like I do the Spiritual Breadcrumbs 10 minutes up to 10 minutes every day. And on a Sunday, I post a weekly reading, gives you some insights. And I suppose one of the questions I keep asking, and hi, Kathleen. Okay, so you're first on board. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what spiritual matters are coming up that you want? This is not a reading. This is not for that. It's just, I get these like this from spirit. So I'm concluding there's a reason for it. So is there any spiritual matters or subject matter or something that is irking you at the moment or causing confusion? And this is not a reading. Let me just say that. This is not a personal reading. But is there something there that, I don't understand this or this has happened or whatever. So Kathleen, feel free to pop something in the and see what happens, because I'm concluding I'm going to draw a card. Let's just see. That's what I heard from spirit. Draw a card and then see what the subject matter is. Oh, and there's the card. Thank you. All right. And it's one we've seen so many times before. Go to the light. And so this is spiritually related, that when we open our heart, we open our soul, we become centered and grounded. Okay, and some people go, what do you mean centered and grounded? So grounded is meaning that we have our feet firmly placed on the ground. And I mean that in a spiritual way. We're not out there flying high, like a few people say to me, oh, I'm out there and it's so great. I'm not harnessed to anything. And I go, you need to be grounded. Okay, and heart-centered, everything is related to the heart. We are heart-centered energy beings. So when I see this card come up again and again and again, out of the 52 cards that are in here, you got to wonder what message spirit are trying to send to us. And I get the sense, and it is only a sense, so pop in your feed if you feel any differently, or if this resonates with you today, this particular card, go to the light, that when we open up, do you notice that the individual there are coming closer, has their hands open, their heart center there, ready to receive, that we are allowing ourselves, okay, note I said allowing, because spirit will never force anything upon us. Because some people say, well, what if I don't want to do this? What if I don't want to open up? What if I don't want to have that? And they're like, spirit won't, they're there to help you. So usually the reason they're there in the first place is because maybe you've asked spirit, or you put a prayer out or wish or desire or whatever it is and said, I need this. So they're coming in and like, okay, I'm here, I'm the teacher on this subject. Let me help you with this. So that's when we've invited it in. If we get bombarded, knock, as it were, then, and we're not ready, spirit understand that. We are human. We have a human existence. We have 24-hour clock. We have jobs. We have children. We have all those. Okay, so Kathleen has just, let me just, if I can pop this into the feed here. Trusting my guidance no matter, even when circumstances change. Like, what the heck? I followed the guidance and now this happens. Okay. So you followed the breadcrumbs, Kathleen. You followed the breadcrumbs. And now what you have to do is be open to receive. Like, I've shared this many times that people say, hey, I went on this course or I took this job because I thought that was the job I needed to take. And then we get there and it's not the job. or it's not the cause, or it's not the place, or whatever. We were guided there for a reason. Maybe what Spirit had to put in our focus, in our radar, if you like, is that we have to go there to start with, to be there. And I'm not just necessarily talking about going somewhere, but when we are following our guidance, which I know you are, Kathleen, it's not that Spirit going bang, let's give you a side swipe there and knock you down. You're there. So now open up to what else is going on. And I've had this in relationships, especially. I've been guided to this person, and not just love relationships. I'm talking about friendships. I'm guided to this person. I feel initially, oh my gosh, it feels like we're twin souls. It feels like we're on the same page. And then the onion layers get peeled back, and I see that they're not who they are. And usually at that point, I would go to Spirit, what the heck, really? That's what you did. So what I was being told then was, it wasn't the friendship that we wanted you to see. We wanted you to see that sometimes people put on the mask and they're not who they truly are. And, I've talked about the people that talk the talk and walk the walk. We can say it here, but do we actually go through with it? Okay. Do we actually follow that guidance? I hear people say, oh, I'm this, and this, and this, and this, and then they're complete opposite. They're just pretending to the audience. They're putting on their mask. They're being that clown, if you like. And we're all clowns at some point, because, sometimes it's like we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. So we say something, and then afterwards we're like, I wonder whether I should have said that. My favorite one, and I do detest being asked this, is when somebody has a new hairstyle. Very fickle, I know. And they say, what do you think of it? And I look at it, and in my head, I'm going, oh my God. Okay, that's what I'm doing in here. So my filter system comes out, and I say, well, it's different. Because maybe that person really likes it. And maybe I'm just not used to it yet. It's a shock. It's like seeing somebody that you haven't seen for a long, long time, and they've lost 100 pounds, and it's like, oh my God, who is this? So it's not in judgment. We should not do it in judgment in those cases, okay? But when, Spirit give us this, like, how old do you think I am? That's another one. Oh my gosh, it's like walking on that hot bed of coals of like, I'm going to say something there and insult somebody. So when we go heart-centered, we can digest, okay? And I mean digest as in, the hairdo, the new hairdo. It's not for me to judge, okay? So when I'm heart-centered, what it's doing is, okay, I don't like this, or it's really different, or yeah, but it's not my judgment. It should not be our judgment. Okay, so I hope that helped. And yes, when we follow the guidance, is not necessarily that's the point. Many times, like, for instance, let me just share this. Many, many, many years ago, 27 something years ago, I left England and I went to Canada. And I heard somebody say, so is Canada going to be your home? And this was my reply, and it wasn't me, this was Spirit, for now. In my head, I'm going, I'm following the breadcrumbs, I'm going to Canada. And you say, for now? So there was that, but then I lost it. I just let it go, because I was enjoying Canada and all the rest of it. But then 20-something years later, 26 years later, I'm in Mexico. Is this my last home? I don't know, and I'm not going to ask either. So don't ask me on that. So this is what I'm saying. We needed to follow the breadcrumbs. I needed to go to the workshop where I met Chris. I needed to go there, and everything on that day when I was supposed to go, when somebody said about that workshop, everything fell into place. I went. It wasn't bells and whistles and yay, I really like this guy. I was quite irritated by him. And then later it was like, no, this is who you need to be with. This is what you need to do. So follow the breadcrumbs always, Kathleen, and everybody else out there, because yes, we go, what the heck, when the poop hits the fan, as it were. But that is where and what we should be doing at that moment. Maybe it's not that specifically, but we're in that tunnel vision. We're like, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. Whereas if we open up our peripheral and see what's going on around us, then maybe that's why we're there. So I'm going to be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. prompt, not early. Hit the wrong button. Obviously, I'm not awake yet. Have a wonderful day. Just one card today. Hopefully you've listened to the weekly reading, because that also will help, and give some other spiritual breadcrumbs for the coming week. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you, Kathleen, so much for participating. I really appreciate you being open and honest. Okay, take care, everyone.